Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a decision that has been taken where the President Donald Trump of US is going to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India next week in the United States. So let us try to understand this entire topic. Now, recently, as per the media report which has been again verified by Ministry of External Affairs, it has been stated that the President Trump has invited PM Modi to the White House next week. Also, this has been confirmed by the White House official sources. Now, after Trump took office for his second tenure and took charge as the 47th president of the United States, he spoke with Prime Minister Modi on telephone on the January 27th. In this conversation, as per the report, leaders have stressed the importance of India purchasing more security equipment from United States and American manufactured, and also have a fair bilateral trading ties. Now, the reason why defense cooperation has been highlighted here is because of the U.S. India defense relationship, which have seen a continuous strengthening in last one decade. And this is something that has been a common theme across all the presidency, whether it is the Modi-Obama era, whether it is the Modi-Trump 1.0 era, or whether it is the Modi-Biden era. For example, if you talk about during the Obama presidency, the government of India has purchased a large number of weapons, equipments, and helicopters such as Apache helicopter. Then we have the Chinook helicopter. Then we have PA type Poseidon long range maritime patrol and anti-submarine craft. These were the major, we can say, this import from the export from the US to India. During the Trump first presidency, then India has purchased M777 Howitzers, that is a gun. Then we have C-17 Globemaster, which is a transport aircraft, and also MH-60 Seahawk helicopters, again for the maritime patrolling. And same continued during the Biden's presidency, where HAL-G F414 and MQ-9B, these were the Predator drones that were also purchased by India. So in this context also, defense relations of India has seen a continuous, we can say, strengthening. But however, one thing we have to understand that if you look at the data from the Scotland Institute, we know that the Stockholm Institute, that we know that India is the third largest military spender in the entire world after US and China. And if you talk about in terms of even the percentage of GDP, India spends more than China. The share of India's GDP in defense spending is 2.6 as compared to 1.7% from the China. As far as the neighbors of India is concerned, obviously it spends much more higher than Pakistan or Bangladesh, or even in the case of Western Asia, where the Saudi Arabia is the largest spender. So that makes, because we know that the US is known for its defense manufacturing, there are many private and public companies largely involved in the manufacturing of weapons, equipments and all that, defense related equipments and all that. So this US see India as a very large market, which still it has not totally, we can say, has exploited the opportunity to export here. Now also in this regard, we can take a look from the India's arms import. India is the third largest military spender in the world, but most of its dependency is on Russia. 45% of the defense equipment that India import is from the Russia. At the second number, then we have the France, and at third number, we have the United States with 11.1% share. Then we have some other countries such as Israel, UK, and South Korea. So this is the market which US under the Trump presidency is trying to increase. This is the percentage that they will see ballooning up in the near future, because as you know, the Trump is largely working with the policy of America first, make America great again. That means largely he is concerned about the interest of America, and obviously larger the amount of weapons and goods, defense related goods they are selling to India, more the money they will make for their domestic population or for their domestic company. So this is why the defense relationship has been emphasized upon. Now this is not going to be the first meeting of the Prime Minister Modi and President Trump, because even during the first presidency of Donald Trump, two times they have met with much fanfare. For example, President Trump was invited to the India in Ahmedabad, where the event was termed as Namaste Trump, which saw a gathering of thousands and thousands, hundreds and thousands of people. Similarly, talk about then as a, we can say, quid pro quo, Narendra Modi was invited to the United States, where the Howdy Modi event was organized, again, which has seen and witnessed a presence of large numbers, thousands of Indian diaspora. So these were such kind of grand meeting. Apart from that, they have kept on meeting along the summits and the, we can say, on the outlines of the summit. So overall, what we can understand is that Apart from, if you talk about the defense spending, the military relationship, apart from that, also the focus of meeting can be in further deepening India-US comprehensive global strategic partnership. Now, we talk about the strategic partnership and more precisely comprehensive strategic partnership. What India and US both believe is the reason why they are such a good partner is because both have some shared values, and these are commitment to the democracy. India being the largest democracy in the world in terms of population, and US also portrays itself as the most democratic country in the world in terms of the freedom that the people enjoy. Plus, second, both of countries are interested in upholding rules-based international system, whether it is about the sea lines of communication, whether it is about the exploration of the minerals and all that. Plus, US and India have shared interest in promoting global security. That is why they have become a member of Quad group of countries. Then stability and economic prosperity through trade, investment, and connectivity. So when the meeting when the meeting takes place in the coming week between two leaders, these are going to be the major areas of discussion that we can expect. Now, if you look at the Indo-US ties, Delhi is poised to enhance trade relations with Washington and make it swift and easier for its citizens to receive skilled workers visa. And these are the two major areas of contentions where India is bothered by the Trump's hardline approach. For example, you know that as soon as the Trump came into office, he had announced that he is going to put tariff on all the major trade partners with US. For example, on Canada and China, for example, Colombia and Mexico, already tariff has been imposed. Now, India has been lucky because in the first, we can say, tariff attack or tariff war, India has not been included. So, India is considered to be a strategic partner of US and its effort to counter China as well. And this is something that Trump administration also agrees with. Now, discussion between PM Modi and Trump could also involve trade tariff, which the US president has threatened in the past with India's high tariff on US product. In this context, he even has gone far and said that India has for years now put very high trade tariffs on us. It is the king of tariff. Tariff king is a term that he has used to refer to India. This is unacceptable. So in the early days, there was a belief that India might also face the burden of tariff, but that has not happened till now. Now, also this to some extent is true because if you compare the average tariff rate across different countries, US is imposing the least amount of tariff. For example, the average US tariff rate varies about 3 to 4%. But if compare to India and China, China here applies a tariff somewhere between 10 to 12%. India applies tariff somewhere between 18 to 20%. So after Egypt, if we talk about in the major economies of the world, India is applying second highest tariff rate. And this is something that Trump wants to change. And his focus will be to ask India and also to request India to overall decrease the amount of tariff, at least on the US exported goods. This also we can understand is significant and important given the strong trade ties both countries enjoy. For example, if you look at the Indo-US bilateral trade in the year 23-24, it was somewhere to the tune of $120 billion. And it is good for India because with US, India runs a trade surplus. Trade surplus means that India exports much more higher value of goods and services as compared to what it imports from the US. So as far as the Indian export is concerned, it is somewhere about $77.5 billion, while the American export to India is $43 billion. So we have a trade surplus somewhere of about $35 billion. So obviously this is something that India would not want to change in the near future, because if tariff indeed is applied, that will make Indian goods in America costlier. That will reduce the export volume and the value of India's goods. So that is where the overall entire discussion is going to hinge around. Now here one positive signal that many foreign policy observers have noted is how discussion has taken place between the President Trump and Prime Minister Modi, because as opposed to the other leaders, Trump has shown a degree of restraint in his language. He has not threatened or bullied India. Also, he did not demanded that illegals and aliens, undocumented migrants, which Trump also called them as criminals and gangsters, should be taken back immediately by India. Rather, when the media asked him that what has been the overall result and outcome of his discussion and talks with the Prime Minister Modi, he has said that India will do whatever is right. So this is a kind of positive we can say signal we can take from US. Now Trump seems to have decided that US relationship with India is too high a stake, obviously, to be addressed in the same way as, for example, he did with, say, Colombia, where he has threatened that if Colombia did not accept the deported migrants, then he is going to impose 25% additional tariff on the Colombian export. So at least this is something that has not taken place in the case of India. Now, the other area where Indian diplomats, or we can say Indian government officials, will be concerned about is in the H-1B visa, because the fate of large number of Indian students and professionals in the US revolves around H-1B visa or F visa. Now, in this context, if you take a look at the H-1B visa program itself, 72% of the H-1B visa that was issued by US, that was issued for the Indian professionals. Then at second number you have China, and third number you have Canada. So what India want to ensure that the high number of illegal immigrants, the high number of deported immigrants, Indian citizens or Indian origin people who has been deported back or who is going to be deported back in the near future from United States, that does not affect the interest of the skilled workers, interest of the legitimate legal workers in the United States that are coming from India. In this context, if you look at the May 2024 data, almost 351,000 Indian students are studying in the United States, largely in the programs related to the STEM fields, that is the science, technology, engineering and medicine. Also, the top 4 software company of India, Infosys, TCS, HCL, Wipro, they have obtained approval for around 20,000 employees to work on the H-1 visa. So India has to ensure that interest of these people are not compromised, and that can happen if the deportation of Indian citizens begin to take place, and that also due to the PR management Trump and the Trump administration try to portray in media as a kind of, you can say, with much more hullabaloo. Now we talk about the both categories of immigrant students that come on the F visa and the skilled professional that come on the H-1 visa. They both add value to the EU's economy, and fortunately this is something that Trump himself has accepted, and that is why he has backed the H-1B program, because he considered that United States need competent people, United States need skilled professionals, and that is why, since these people are asset to American society, they will not take any step to compromise with this. So this is overall what we can understand is going to be the areas and the matters of discussion between President Trump and PM Modi in the next week. So that is all about this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.